afternoon, travelers. This is going to be the Pisces new moon reading. It's occurring today, 20 February. I was trying to get this to you a few days ago, but I've been back and forth with whatever's going on with my neurological issue. And, I want to say you guys are great out there. I have a couple of people who watch um, who are not just clients but friends, have been contacting their contacts with neurologists, and so they're trying to get me. Somebody's got me in already, so I'm just waiting for the phone call to see what happens. Otherwise, I have to wait till March 28th, and I've been waiting since September. It's the VA, people. So I'm a little behind on my work. I'm almost done with the March readings, and for those of you who have contacted me about readings, I will be getting to those over today and tomorrow. So you will hear from me today, okay? So this reading is general. It is not for any specific sign. We're just going to open the cards to see what counsel they can give us for this Pisces new moon. New moons are a time when you're supposed to be closing out old things and starting something new, okay? And so I'm just going to turn the camera around, and I've already done the shuffling. I am using the Radiant White deck. I was going to use another deck, but just these cards were speaking to me. And we'll probably clarify with Levita Sibila if we need. We might even use the Fiend DC Clay. We'll just see. And then whatever the message is, we'll determine what Oracle card that I will be using. So let me... Hi, Hannah. Okay, she just got back from school. Tell you what, that car's the best thing ever. So, it's funny. It's almost 90 degrees here today. It's 74 inside my house. I don't have any AC on, but just 2 days ago, I had, what do you call it? Long johns on. It's crazy. All right. One more shuffle and one more rifle, and then we will lay the cards. I hope everyone is well. I need to light a bit of incense to help bring in a more conducive atmosphere. So let me do that right quick. I don't know about y'all, but 2023 just started, and already I'm ready for it to be over. I can't. Well, just like I'm going, well, it's going by so fast, but yet I'm already ready for it to be over. Okay, so we got that lit. And now, cut the deck, and let's lay the cards. All right. First card out, the Magician. Oh, wow. The Emperor. That's interesting. And the Eight of Wands. Next row, the Ace of Cups, which would tie in with the Piscean new moon energy. The Ten of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles. Well, that's a funny energy. Last row, the Seven of Cups. So now I have 2 sevens. The Nine of Wands. And the Four of Wands. All in all, not a bad energy here at all. So, what do I have? 2 major arcana, 3 wands, 2 cups, 2 pentacles. No court cards, okay? What is the energy over the entire reading? Well, now it is the 2 of Pentacles. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So, for those of you who are new to my channel and my style of reading, I read energies, not cards, okay? And these are the major arcana. And the major arcana, one card, major arcana, holds more sway than all of these cards together. These, the numbered cards, and the court cards are known as the pip cards. But one of these holds more sway than all of these put together. Why? Because these are our spiritual lessons, whereas these are our mundane things that we go through every day. Okay? They represent the third dimension. Wands represent passion, focus, determination, desire. Cups represent emotions. Pentacles represent finances and or the doing of something. And swords, which we don't have in this particular spread, represent thoughts, belief, perceptions, ideas, and communications. And right in the center, I have the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles is a rather interesting card because it represents the idea of, first of all, a family business, one that has generational monies that, will be passing down, very successful business that will be passed down from generation to generation. It also represents the idea of being around a group of people in which you are comfortable and everybody pulls their own weight. Everybody contributes. But I've also seen the card show up when someone might be nearing retirement or they're thinking about changing jobs. Okay. It does represent the 10th house, which is the house of Capricorn. And so that is about your status, your ambition. What do you deem success is? All right. As you can see here in the center, we have the man, the woman, the child, the two dogs, and the old person. So, for some of you, I know people who've been working in jobs for a long time and they've been there and the people around them are like family. They've been there so long, everybody pulls together. So this really, to me, it's a changing energy because it's a 10. And so it talks about really the ending of something, either the ending of a type of financial situation or the end of participating in some type of group. So as I say, I've seen that when people are thinking about retiring or changing careers. Okay. The Magician is the one card. It is about the I or the ego. But what it really represents is the idea that as above, so below. In other words, whatever energies you can create, whatever's hanging in the air, you need to learn how to direct your will to focus it down. So this card cautions about being careful about the way that you think, because thoughts can literally create things. Remember, nothing in this world has ever been invented or thought of without somebody thinking of it first, right? He has all of the tools, each ace of the suit. And so that represents the idea that he has all of the tools that he needs in order to do whatever it is he wants. So I've seen the card show up when it talks about new ideas coming to the fore, new projects coming to the fore, learning new skills, and trying to bring something into creation. Okay. Now, sitting next to the Emperor, the Emperor is the archetypal father of the tarot. So he can represent an older man. If not a father, then perhaps a father figure. So this could be a stepfather, this could be a grandfather, it could be an uncle. If not that, if not related to you, then he is going to be somebody who is well looked up to in the community. He is very focused. So usually I see him when he shows up when this person's doing philanthropy work. Okay. He's somebody who owns a lot. For me, an emperor is always more than a king. Okay. And he didn't become the emperor by being mean and tyrannical. He didn't be the emperor by being weak and soft. Okay, so the card really speaks about balance and logic, being rational and logic, and learning to control your emotions, having that balance between emotion and logic so that you can get things done. I've even seen this guy show up when he's like a coach or someone who has good advice to give. Now, on the back side of these two cards, we have the Eight of Wands. Let me back up, because if this is not about an individual like I just described, then this card is saying you might need to be embodying the qualities of rationality and logic and keeping your sentiment in check. Okay, not letting people run over you, but not becoming tyrannical either. All right. So the Eight of Wands is known colloquially as the arrows of love. But for me, what it always indicates is the idea that something is about to take off and move really, really fast. All right. So we see the 8 wands flying out. We don't know where they're coming from necessarily, and we don't know where they're landing. So when this card shows up, it typically speaks about the idea of travel, perhaps by air, but always in conjunction with business or work. Okay. It does say that, there may be a message of love coming to you, the possibility of a new lover coming in. But basically, it's an 8. 8s are karmic numbers, and what they do in the tarot is they come to move a situation along, okay? And for me, this represents 8 days, okay? We don't know necessarily what's happening here. So this is past, present, future interplay of the cards. And when I say the past, I mean yesterday to out to, August of 2022. When I say future, near or distant future, that could be tomorrow out to the end of 2023 into 2024. It depends on what you have going on in your life, right? My next row, it begins here with the Ace of Cups. Now, most tarot card readers say, oh, there's a lover coming in. Well, for me, the cups are not just about love. It is about emotion. Okay? So there's several things here showing up. To me, this represents the idea to reset some emotions, perhaps on some project or someone that you're working with. It is saying that the energies of a fresh emotional start are becoming available to you. For some of you, this may be the idea of purging some old negative emotions, trying to create something new emotionally in your life. But it's basically about how you feel about something. What's happening? How does it make you feel? The people that you're involved with, how do they make you feel? How do you feel necessarily about whatever is happening? And I've also seen the card show up when it says that there can be the opportunity for new finances and new business partners to come in, okay? On the back side, we have the 7 of Pentacles. The card of patience and waiting. It is known as waiting for the harvest to come in. So the card, and it is a 7, and I have 2. The first thing 2 7s tell you is that there could be false friends around you. The second thing that the 2 7s tell us is, hold on, that self-confidence issues can cause instability in a relationship, and this can be any kind of relationship, all right? But the 7 of Pentacles, to me, is always an indication of sometimes people not feeling as though they're getting the financial rewards due them or the recognition for the work that they've done. It is a 7, and 7s represent the idea of questioning oneself, of stopping and taking a moment before moving forward. Okay, contemplating what has come before and then what do you want to do after. To me, it is an indication that something new will be presented to you. That pentacle there, you've already tended this bush, you've got those 6 things done, but now there's something new, a new offer, a new perhaps proposal will be presented to you. Okay, but then I have the 7 of Cups, and the 7 of Cups, like the 7 of Pentacles, any 7 really, stopping in for a moment and contemplating something, questioning yourself. So for me, this card is all about the idea of having a lot of choices and having to make a decision, as is this card. There's a decision, there's a choice that has to come up. What am I going to do with this new offer? What am I going to do with this new thing? Can I even handle it? And this lets me know that you have been presented with something new, but there are so many other options around it that you don't know which one to choose, right? So the inability to make a firm choice or decision, and that whatever that choice and decision is very, very important for the future. Here in the card, you can see there's self-actualization, there's temptation, there's property, there's riches, there's peace, there's power, and the figure is either taken aback by all of the choices. This could sometimes be about nightmares, hallucinations, and fantasies, like building castles in the sky. But the card also says that if you can identify the most important thing in whatever the situation is, then everything else can fall into place. You may discover that some of this stuff is not even important to what it is you're trying to do. The 9 of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of, is the focus. It is a nine. So the focus is on the completion of events, okay? And what it represents is the idea that you've been through, quote unquote, a battle. This could be a battle of life. This could be, some kind of test and trial and tribulation. You feel a little beat up, battered, and bruised. You see he's got his little bandana on his head there, but he's leaning on that wand, so he's got some support. Behind him are the 8 wands that just flew through the air, okay? But the card says you have strong character and courage, and that if you need to, you can get back in there into the fight. You can whip up that determination, that fire, that passion can come back to help see you through. It ends with the 4 of wands. Oh, that's right. Now I have 2 4s as well. So that's good too. So the 4 of wands is about celebrating something, okay? It could be buying a new house, or closing a new deal. It could be celebrating a wedding or a birth or a graduation. It's almost the same energy as the 3 of Cups, but it's a little bit different, because what this card talks about mostly is the idea of celebrating yourself, not necessarily with other people like the 3 of Wands. And how do I know that? If you'll look at the way the card is, those people are welcoming you as you're facing the card. They're welcoming you in. They're saying, hey, come on in, right? Yay, you did it. Flowers look like pom-poms. So this is you or other people celebrating whatever your accomplishments and your achievements are. 4s in the tarot represent stable foundations. This is also the card of the shacking up card. So what that means is not the marriage card. So what that means is there's a possibility when this card shows up that if you are in a relationship or a relationship presents itself, and it doesn't matter what kind, that it has the possibility to have long-term commitment and goals. But over the entire reading, I have the 2 of Pentacles. And 2s represent choices, options, dualities, oppositions, and being at a crossroads. And when I say an opposition, this could be you being opposed in yourself. Should I or shouldn't I? Or somebody who's opposing you. No, you can't do that. Or I want you to do this. Okay? So I've seen this card show up when it says you're trying to handle at least 2 things at one time. And maybe thus far you've been successful at doing that, the juggling act. So 2 people working 2 jobs. Someone working 2 jobs. Someone trying to balance their finances. Typically the card will say that you've been successful at doing that so far, but you're at a crossroads. Something's going to have to change. And so we see, some of you are all at sea about what's happening. See the ships being tossed around in the back. And this card can also sometimes imply movement of some kind. Now, I think what I find interesting is I have this house in the back, these city scenes here, and then this travel around water. So perhaps some of you have been trying to purchase a house or get a new townhome or get a new condo or some kind of property that you've been trying to acquire. And it kind of appears or feels as though it's been all over the place. But I'm going to say to you that I don't see anything negative here. Okay? And so what I'm going to do is see if I can gather any additional information with these cards as they relate to these 2. Now, I told you the 2 4s. So you've got 2 4s and 2 7s. 2 4s speak to house repairs or looking to move house. And the other meaning of 2 4s is, just bear with me 1 second, a safe and secure time period. And I would agree with that. I just think here, trying to start something, new, fresh energies coming in, perhaps a new partnership being presented to you, and it creates a bit of confusion. Okay? So we're going to start with the 8 of Wands to see if the 8 of Wands can tell us anything next to the Magician and or the Emperor card, and then we will continue from there. Let me get to my wands. The 8 of Wands. Nothing about the 8 of Wands, although there is an indication that it's asking you to take control and balance your budget. And we can see that because from the 10 to the 7 leaves us 3 pentacles. So there's either 3 things we have to do, or there's some money that's being spent, okay? And over here with the 2, so there's been a trying to balance out either finances or whatever it is you've been doing, okay? Ace of Cups. Nothing about the Ace of Cups, but here is a couple of additional meanings. It tells that an offer or gift may be forthcoming in the near future. Changes in home affairs that will ultimately result in happiness for all concerned. Activities regarding a present home, new home, or making a new start is indicated by the Ace of Cups. It encourages you to attend to the finer details of a new project in order for it to come to fruition. Positive energies abound. Tells me nothing next to these 2 cards. 10 of Pentacles. With the Ace of Cups. Speaks about joyful partnerships, reunions, and celebrations. We see it here. Okay? Referring to the attainment and or recognition of a career advancement or promotion. It can also be referring to a social standing within a community, group, or club. There's a focus on family matters when this card appears. It says that you will find that the home environment is the most powerful influence in your life at this time. It tells of finances beginning to establish and grow in prosperous times ahead. Let's see. That's what it says. 7 of Pentacles. With the Emperor, do not be overly concerned if you meet with disapproval from a partner or loved ones. Do not allow it to bother you too much. Okay? And I think that's what this is. Because all of a sudden, new stuff is happening for us. We're ready to start something new, and then suddenly we have to stop what we're doing, and there's some confusion surrounding it. So it could be that someone is maybe opposing you in some way. All right? The card can say, do not be overly anxious if a delay or postponement takes place in regards to some financial negotiations. All is going to plan, so use this time constructively to plan your next move. Now, I don't know if you remember when I put this card down and then this one, I said, well, that's a funny energy because this one is like, hurry up, it's moving really, really fast, and then all of a sudden we kind of come to a screeching halt. Not necessarily a screeching halt, but things slow down, okay? So the card says to be patient. It says, a sudden change or option may present itself. There are important decisions to be made, and clear communication is needed in order to come to the right conclusion or decision. Same thing as this. So let's move here to the 7 of Cups. Nothing about the 7 of Cups, but it indicates a time of illusion and of difficulties in decision making. It tells of the realization of the impact of one's thoughts in creating their daily reality. Do not be fooled by illusion and fantasy. Positive thinking and an optimistic outlook lightens daily life. It asks you to narrow down your choices as you have too many options to choose from, which may lead to confusion. Put aside those that do not suit your goals. You are asked not to be too disheartened in the delay in activities, but it will be wise to use the time to reflect on the positive aspects that already exist. It can indicate that life feels as though it's at a standstill or a crossroads, and choosing the right path seems challenging and daunting, but you are encouraged to follow your intuition and instincts and try new avenues or a new course of action. It says, expect the unexpected. That's why he's like in relief, okay? 9 of Wands. So again, I don't see anything necessarily here that... Now, the timing for this is the 30th of December to the 13th of January. It can indicate that there is a suspension of events, in which case you still have the advantage at this time. Okay. It is a message to use discretion and to maintain control over your own personal interest. It asks you to hold on to your belief set and to protect your own affairs. You have the knowledge, mindset, and ability to succeed at whatever you set your mind to. Do not allow others to sway you from your path. And finally, we end this with the Four of Wands. I don't know who needs this reading, but somebody needs this reading. Here is the Four of Wands with the Magician. It tells of exciting and original ideas, concepts, and plans. It tells of exciting originality, new ideas, projects, and goals. Well, I mean, not bad. Let me just take a look to see if the Two of Pentacles, because there is a nothing about the Two of Pentacles. Okay? So I just think that whatever is happening, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a look at, and I'm going to look at the Emperor, and I'm going to tell you why. He's giving the side eye to the Magician here. He's looking at him out of the corner of his eye. So this could be somebody who, maybe they're the money person, but they're looking at you like your ideas are kind of out there. Okay? So we're just going to pull cards on the Emperor to see what additional information he may have to impart, if anything. So if there's some kind of delay, or you've got to stop whatever you're doing for a moment, don't fret. Just continue on with your plans, because things will be picking up again. The Delirious. So now, so the Emperor can be, in his negative, can be a very, very difficult character. Stubborn, controlling, domineering. And here with the Dilettante could be an indication, and see there's a group of people here and down here being represented. So this could be the idea that there is some people in your surroundings that maybe you shouldn't trust. Remember, we got the 2 sevens, false friends. It can be someone trying to sway you, or pull you from the path that you are on. Usually what the card will say is that if this is a group of people who have mutually exclusive beliefs, this could be somebody talking crazy, or whatever their ideas are don't make any sense. Okay. The word cult keeps coming up, so I don't know if that means anything, but it will be that type of environment. And the card says that you should be very, very careful around this group of people, because they are really out to lead you astray. He could be the leader of the group, for all we know. Next card. The Lamika. So that's the friend. Now, it's kind of interesting, because the Lamika can be a colleague, a sister, a niece, a friend. She can really be anybody. And perhaps this individual is the person who's trying to get you to come and join in, or whatever, or maybe she herself is being swayed by these particular people. Okay, and you're trying to come in and say, you know what, you need to stop for a minute and take a look at whatever's happening. And then the final card, the Pensiero. And this is simply the card of meditation. So I'm not exactly sure. And even if you are a female, okay, you can embody the energy of the Emperor. If you are out, doing whatever it is that you're doing, you are the master of all that you survey. Okay, and everything that you own is what you own, and you got it, and you did it, you worked for it, you earned it. So even you can be the Emperor. So this could be the idea that maybe perhaps you've got to kind of put your foot down concerning whomever this Lamika and the Dilettante, what that's all about. Give it some thought. Okay. These two people can be maybe related to each other. Maybe they might know each other, because sometimes this card says that this individual can introduce you to people who can open doors for you. All right. So now I think what I'm going to use is the Golden Nostradamus. So formulate your question for the Golden Nostradamus. I don't necessarily see this as being anything bad, but if you try to rush it, if you don't stop and think about it, if you don't kind of remember what it is you're trying to do, I think you could have problems, okay? Don't let people dissuade you. Well, look at there. It's the snake. So that brings up this idea again. This could be one person in a group. Okay, maybe like the leader of the group. Maybe she's the head of the group. So do be careful. Number 4, the snake. Even the ox, healthy and hale, at the bite of a snake may fall and flail. This card warns of an impending pitfall, slander, or trap that is about to spring. Take care not to be, with your own shortcomings, the one to poison your own life. And what I think that means is, you've got a lot of cards that are saying, you might want to stop, you might want to slow up, you might want to contemplate, you might want to think before moving forward. That's not a bad thing. It's never a bad thing to stop and relook at your plan. And maybe, because this card and that card kind of have the same connotation. This could even be somebody who's like substance abuse, or drinking, drugs, or just some kind of far out fantasy illusion kind of belief. So that is what I have for you for the Pisces new moon. If you're interested in a reading, you can go to the About Box section of my channel. There I have the reading packages which list the number of minutes, the number of questions, and the price. You can email me at my address here at hiddenlotustarot@gmail.com. Hey Tara, I want the 60-minute reading, and I'll get back to you. So until then, see you guys soon with the rest of the March videos. Stay safe.